Okay, ready when you are.
Okay. Good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for the town of Newcastle. Today is May 25th, 2022.
First on the agenda.
Go ahead, Tony. Yes.
Sorry about that. Didn't want to step on you.
No.
First, we have an extension request from Kingfisher Philanthropies. But they didn't tell us how long they might need to get their stuff finished. Is anybody from Kingfisher here tonight?
So I spoke to the applicant earlier and he actually ended up having a conflict. So he's not going to be able to make it tonight and asked if he could be adjourned to the June meeting.
Oh, it's fine with me.
He's
It's fine with
basically
everybody
going to
else.
come back next month.
Yeah. That okay with you, Ken?
Yes, that doesn't conflict with Jackie and Tom. I guess he has a deadline, he says in his letter, of June 21st.
That's when the current zoning resolution expires.
Okay. And our meeting is on what date?
The meeting would be June 29th.
So that doesn't sound good, does it?
Could we give him a temporary extension for an extension?
I mean, he seemed to suggest in his letter that, it was if he could make the June 21st date. I don't know. Amanda, do you have a suggestion or recommendation?
Since it's going to expire prior to the date.
I mean, should we grant, I don't know, comes to mind, grant him a 1 month extension, or because of the suggestion in the letter, do something like 3 months?
I think 3 months would be probably safer. Just to give you that extra month in case he doesn't attend.
Well, if we grant 3 months tonight, it's not a problem, because if 3 months go by and they're still not finished, they're still able to ask for an additional extension. At least it will get covered for next month, that they won't run out and create a big problem. So I'm okay with 3 months if everybody else is.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll move that we give Kingfisher Properties a 3 month extension on their application.
I second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
In favor?
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye. And we have another extension tonight, MORAES, and they're looking for a 6 month extension.
Is the applicant online?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, hi. Good evening. I'm Mark MORAES from 111 DeVoe. And we are requesting a 6 month extension because sadly, the pool that we plan to put in has been delayed. The contractor says that there's sort of long lead times and has had trouble lining up his schedule for this summer. It was supposed to have been done a while back, alas. So we're asking for a first extension here. The permit, I think we came before the board last May, and we got the extension and the actual permit issued in December, while we got all the paperwork and the plans and the silt fence put up.
Has your contractor given you some reason to believe that he can complete it?
He has promised July as the date he will start, and I have spent a lot of time on the phone with him trying to convince him that it's obviously something we really want, and we are quite unhappy about the continuing delays. And I guess I have to really rely on his assurance that he will do it in July.
Okay. We have
I've told him, I did tell him that I would have to come, right to the board and come before you to get an extension of the permit.
Right. Okay, we understand. I make a motion that we grant the extension for MORAES for 6 months.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Thank you. Have your extension.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to push this through.
Okay. Next, we have adoption of final resolution for the CLARE application.
Amanda, did you want to sort of summarize, the resolution and its pertinent elements?
Sure, and
But Amanda, I don't want to interrupt you, Amanda, but before we get started, I have one question that could be answered, and then we can all go ahead with your summary. On the last whereas, line number 5, it says, the requested variance will not have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood because any flooding impacts have been addressed, and the addition of and here's the question, single will not have any negative environmental impacts. I'm assuming that's a typo, or is it just there's something about single that I don't understand?
correct, it is a typo. It should be single family home.
Okay, so with that correction, we should go ahead.
So I'll ask Bob to explain the easement and maintenance obligations that he included, and I'll just go over quickly kind of the resolution. So for 15 Martha Place, we have addressed some zoning, some flooding impacts that were initially addressed with the town engineer, and also some impacts that were brought to attention by the fire district regarding trucks being able to travel down the private road. Mr. Clare has worked with the town to address these impacts and has agreed to enter into an easement agreement with his neighbors, which is in draft and will be recorded with the county. Bob, would you like to speak more about the easement and maintenance agreement?
Thank you, Amanda. Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. Yes, the condition 1, I guess, on the last page of the resolution regards the easement agreement and access maintenance agreement that would be required, because as everyone knows, the improvements that the applicant is proposing to put on the private section of the roadway includes a retaining wall, a roadway, a guide rail, and some drainage. So because of those things being on private property, the town will not maintain it. So what I believe Mr. Clare had done, he worked with the other neighbors of 84 Park and 32 Martha, and they're going to provide an easement access agreement to demonstrate to the town that they will be solely responsible for those infrastructure improvements located wholly within the private section of Martha Place, which starts at the easterly side of the park and heads up about 144 feet, where the roadway is 18 feet wide. Of course, that's got to be reviewed by town council. It's got to be looked at, I believe, by myself with certain of the technical issues. And I'm not quite sure whether it needs town board approval on that. Amanda, I'll defer to you on that. And that's pretty much number 1, which I guess is the most important item of the whole resolution. Amanda?
Yes, so we will review it, put it in final form, have it approved, and then it'll be recorded with the county. Mr. Clare, did you have any comments?
No comments from us. I think you guys summarized it perfectly.
Any other questions or comments by the board? If not, the The public hearing is not open, is it?
It was closed at the last
It was
meeting.
closed. Okay. I'll make a motion then that the resolution as drafted by council in the Patrick, Claire, and Dorothy Philippou 15 Martha Place application, given the circumstances where the applicant has made every effort to mitigate impacts and will be entering into an easement access and maintenance agreement concerning the improvement to Martha Place, subject to approval by the town attorney, which shall be executed by the applicants and by the owner of 84 Park Drive and 32 Martha Place, and thereafter filed and recorded with Westchester County before obtaining a building permit. I think all appropriate actions have been put in place, and the board can approve this application.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Claire.
Thank you all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the board.
Good night, Bob.
Good night.
Next is BARTH, 3 Dunster Road.
Hi, I'm here. Mary Scott representing the Barths. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. I will share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. So. Okay, the Barth house is in quarter acre zoning in the Stanwood section on Dunster Road. And just to get you oriented, this is the house, kind of sits way back in the lot, which is kind of nice for having all this yard. Unfortunately, the rear setback in quarter acre zoning is 35 feet. And we have just over 24 feet. So in order to build a second floor over this, and I'm going to show you some pictures, we require an 11-foot variance. So this is the front of the existing house, small cape in the back. Well, here's the right side. So there are 2 kind of wings, just back one sec. So there's 2 wings on either side of the main piece. On the right side, it was expanded with a shed dormer in order to give more head height up there. On the left side, you can see it's the original roof. So what we are proposing to do is extend this dormer to the end of the existing house so that we can put a bathroom, because currently there's 1 bathroom on the first floor, nothing on the second floor. In terms of the drawings, you can see there, it's kind of the typical Cape configuration, 2 bedrooms up. Then there's 1 bedroom. You kind of go up into a sitting room. There's a bedroom here. And what we are proposing to do is to put the dormer, extend the dormer to here so we can put in a full bathroom. And just in terms of how it's going to look pretty much like the right side looks now. So the dormer will just extend right to left on the entire back. So it's a relatively modest request. It's an existing condition. We're not adding to the nonconformity. And let me know if you have any questions.
So what you're telling us, Mary, is you're staying within the existing footprint of the house. You're not increasing it in any way. You're just going up.
Correct. It's like
Okay.
right here.
Good. That sounds good. Thank you.
Carrie, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak to this matter?
If anyone's interested, please raise your digital hand and I will open your line. We have one person in the audience and the hand is not up.
Okay. Gee, that's a poor turnout tonight. We only have one person in the audience. That's very disappointing. Usually it's standing room only.
It's almost Memorial Day weekend, Ken.
Right, okay. Any other comments by the board?
Nope.
I move that we close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
I'll make a motion. I move that the BARTH application for an 11-foot rear yard variance for the extension of a dormer to construct a second floor bathroom on a pre-existing non-conforming lot where the applicant is not adding to the non-conformity, be approved for the following reasons. There will be no change produced in the character of the neighborhood. The benefit cannot be sought through other means. The requested variance is not substantial. The proposed variance will not have an adverse impact on the physical environment. In fact, it will allow the applicant to further enjoy their home. The alleged difficulty is not self-created. You'll have 6 months to start, 1 year to complete. And Tom, do you want an as-built?
I might just comment that the survey we put in has the setback for this corner and it
Okay.
won't change.
Okay,
We will not need an as-built, sir.
okay. And there were no neighbors who spoke in opposition. For these reasons, I think we should approve.
I'll second that.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Thank you. You have your variance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next, we have Church of St. Mary the Virgin.
Hang on one second, they might have come in. As an attendee, I'm just moving them over to panelists.
Are you speaking on this, Mr. Polinsky?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is Eric Gordon one of the people on this?
Eric would ordinarily be the counsel.
Oh, okay, but should I shift him in? He's the attendee right now.
He said he wasn't going to attend, and that's why Amanda's participating this evening.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. So, Mr. Polinsky, could you introduce yourself and explain your interest in this application?
Yes, hi, my name is James Polinsky. I'm representing St. Mary's. I'm the sign company, Signs Inc., located in Yorktown Heights.
And could you explain, you've had to appear before us. Obviously, there's something that requires the zoning board to review. You want a larger sign? Is that the?
Yes. So we're looking for a larger sign, as well as we wanted to. Right now, it's parallel to the road. We wanted to go the other direction so it can be seen from both directions. I can share my screen to show the sign.
Please do. Yep.
So this is the sign that we're proposing. The sign itself would be 4 feet tall by 6 feet. 4 feet tall by 5 feet wide. The existing sign that's there now is 54 inches. Then there's actually a space, so it's actually pretty close to being the 60-inch wide. The height there is now is 32. We're looking for 48. The church is set way back from the road, and they have many parishioners that are people that just have a hard time finding the church with the sign the way it is. So that's why they're asking for a larger sign that more people could just see it and be more visible. You have 2 schools right in a row, and then you have the church, which is a stone building, and it's just causing a little bit of confusion. It's been an ongoing thing, but then they saw, I would like to show you one other sign that we did for the local Mohegan Lake St. Mary's, and they're looking to duplicate this sign. So it shows a little bit. This is one we made a few years back. It's blue color, white PVC posts that don't rot or peel, and 24 karat gold leaf, or actually I should say 23 karat gold leaf for all the text and writing. This is the same size that they're looking for. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This one's a little bit larger, 4 foot by 6 foot, but we were trying to keep a little bit closer to the zoning requirements. So that's why they chose the 4 foot by 5 foot for 20 square feet, rather than go for something that was just too large. And something that we thought maybe would not be obtainable.
I don't see that sign. Do you have it up somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
You might be sharing the wrong window. Oh, there we go.
Can you see it now?
Oh, yes.
Sorry. So that's a sign. This one was made probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Still looks pretty much, as new condition. Sign paints have come a long way through the years, so they don't, fade and peel and whatnot.
How many square feet is this one, Mr. Polinsky?
This one would be 4 by 6, so 32 square feet.
Okay.
No,
4 by 6 is 24.
24. I'm sorry, 24 square feet. 24. We're 4 by 5, asking for 20 square feet.
So this sign is slightly larger than the one that you're asking for.
This one is slightly larger, yes.
Okay.
So if I go back to the one that this is the mock-up of what we're asking for. It's 12 inches narrower.
On the sign that you're proposing for the Chappaqua Church, you had hanging signs there as well for Sunday services and Sunday school?
Yes.
Can we see the sign that you're proposing for Chappaqua, please?
Sorry.
So wouldn't we have to take those hanging signs into consideration as well?
I don't know. They wouldn't be a permanent sign. They would change as the services. They don't. I don't think they have year round school. But I guess nobody said to me that was in the equation.
I don't know. Tom, I think it may be in the equation.
I viewed them as being informational parts of the sign and being exempt from what they were asking.
Uh-huh, okay.
Mr. Polinsky, just to ask the question, are there any neighboring locations that you think would express a concern about this sign and its location, size and location?
No, I do not. I did take some photos of the neighboring street. We have
I mean, I guess you have Bell School on the one side, right? And
we have the Bell School to the left. There's just woods to the right.
Right.
There's the building department across the street. Directly across the street is a ball field.
Right.
And then I guess to the left of the Bell School, I believe that's just the high school that has a 4 foot by 6 foot or 4 foot by 8 foot LED full color display. And then across from that is the gas station. So there's no residential.
Right.
And I don't think I would be here asking for a variance if it was, let's just say, a business, a commercial business. This was a church, so we felt like it was something that was a little bit more necessary. I wouldn't come and say, oh, in the middle of town, I need a variance for this. But I thought for this one, I think that we have, a legitimate claim of why they need a little bit larger of a sign. It's kind of part of the community, and we're trying to propose.
Is that because you think we all need help to get into heaven, and this is one way of accomplishing that?
Well, I might have to fight a little bit harder if you tell me no, because I got to get in there.
Okay. Carrie, do you have anyone who wishes to speak to this application?
No.
Okay. Any other comments by the board?
I have a comment, a question. The current sign faces the road, so it's just one-sided, and as you drive by, you could probably miss it if you're going by too fast or not looking. Now you guys are planning to turn the sign sideways. So if I'm correct in this or incorrect, let me know. But from my understanding is you're going to turn it sideways, so it's a double-sided sign.
Correct. That you would see it from both directions.
Correct.
And we have
So
we're gonna keep it in this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, my question is, if you turn it sideways so it can be viewed from whichever direction you're traveling on North Greeley, and you've already had in 1985 a variance to increase the sign that was there before. Now you're looking to double it. Is it really necessary to be that big, since you're going to be making it more visible by the new position of the sign?
It's not really that much larger. Like I said, the sign that's there now, if you want to just say it's 32 by 54 is the actual sign itself. You're talking 6 inches and then 12 inches, 6 inches wider. So 3 on each side, if you want to call it that, and then a foot taller.
You have a picture of the current sign that we can see?
Yes. That's the current sign that's there, which is 15 feet back from the sidewalk. So we'd want to keep the front post in the same position and actually move it back a little bit further. So it's not going to encroach any further on the road or the property line. We're just looking to do it in a different orientation that can be seen from both ways.
I don't have a problem with seeing it from both ways. I think it's actually necessary, considering its location.
Anything else anyone wants to contribute or ask about?
No, I was just concerned that if you turn the sign sideways, would it affect a car exiting the school parking lot? But I believe the sign is far back enough that it wouldn't.
Pretty far
Yes,
back.
yeah, it's pretty far back. I do have,
Right, okay.
let me, oh, that's the wrong one. I have a property survey that I could. So this is the property survey, and if we say that this is the sidewalk that's there right now, we're 15 feet. We're 19 feet 9 inches off of that.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
So you could fit a full car here without it interfering.
Mhm.
Anything else?
One of the other, things is it is down a little bit of a slope. That's why one of the ideas too was making the sign a little bit larger, just to try to catch a little bit more. Like I said, it's been an ongoing issue that they had, but they spent a lot of money on the old sign, and they weren't about to change it until now that it's time, it's rotting, it's time to change it. So that's and then they saw the St. Mary's in Mohegan Lake, and they really loved the sign. So that's when they decided it was time to go for a new sign and update.
Okay, I move that we close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Would like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we grant variance to the Church of St. Mary the Virgin for a 10-foot variance to increase their sign to 20 square feet. Based upon what was presented to the board, it appears to be necessary so that people can find the church more easily. The granting of the variance will create no undesirable change in the neighborhood. There are no homes nearby that would be affected. There's no other feasible method other than the variance to achieve the benefit. The variance, I don't believe, is substantial. There'll be no adverse effect on the impact or on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood. And self-created, de minimis. So, and there's no one in opposition, of course. So for those reasons, I move that we grant the variance for the sign.
I'll second.
6 months to start, 1 year to finish.
No,
No, I'll second it.
Aye.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Good luck. You have your variance.
all right. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too.
SELSKY PEREZ-HALL, 11 Daily Cross Road.
Good evening.
Aye. So this is where you tell us why you've come before the board.
Sure. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Appreciate you taking the time. I'm going to be stepping into the shoes of my architect who's unavailable today. So forgive me if I'm not exactly hitting all the points. I'm happy to answer the questions to the best of my ability. We have a legally pre-existing non-conforming single-family home. It was built in 1953 at a diagonal. We are requesting a variance because we need an extension. My father-in-law is currently in hospice, and my mother-in-law is not going to be able to live on her own much longer. She was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's. So we are looking to build an extension for our home so that she can live with us. And we can't really build up because we need to have her be able to use a wheelchair in the future. And that is the purpose for the extension. At her request, she wants to actually live with me and my wife and my son. In terms of the specifics, the proposed extension is no closer to the property line. The extension will be built and we have the plans. I don't know if the architect, if you have them, but we can screen share and walk you through that if you'd like.
We do have the plans, but if you could just share your screen and just briefly cover the addition for us.
All right. We're gonna, I thought we had it up. Let's see. Do the Firefox. There. No. Whiteboard. There we go. Do that. All right. Can you see that, members?
We have a blank screen at this point.
Let me see if I can stop share. You are screen sharing.
Stop sharing.
I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I apologize.
Yeah, just make sure you click, it'll ask you what window you want to look at.
Here, minimize this for a second. We're gonna try again. I'm not good with Apple, so my wife's in charge of that. Do that. Okay. Now try. Go back. All right. Try screen share. There we go. All right. Okay. So, can you see this now?
Yes, we can.
All right. And I'm going to try and move this over here. So our property line, I'll show you the back first so you can see, ooh, too fast. So you can see that is the property line right there. The white part where the arrow is the closest point of our house to the next door neighbor's property line. And the proposed extension goes across here, which is approximately 17 feet. The rear existing setback right now, because the fact that it's built on a diagonal before, I guess, the zoning laws existed or changed, is 16.59. So we're not building substantially any closer to the property line. I will try to show you just where exactly. There's a lot of land here. This is the road as it faces out to the side of the house. We're in a corner lot. So you come here, and this is, oops. Sorry. Yeah, if you can do that. Sorry. So you come out here to the basketball hoop here. This is the driveway. Can you show them on there, the driveway? If you scroll up, that is our driveway. The existing walkway, it has steps. The proposed walkway, if you can see here with the cobblestones, we go up to the front porch. The green box is where I believe we could build as of right, and anything beyond the green box is where we have to request a variance. As you can see, if you scroll up a little bit more, the house was built out of compliance as it exists midway through the box. So we're not building any closer to the property. It's on a corner lot. The septic tank is on the back here. So it's a functioning septic tank. That's not a really great place for us to build there. And the driveway, again, is in the front. And we need a one-story, we need the same level access for my mother-in-law so that she can have the ability to, share the space with us in the kitchen and the living room, but also have her own area to live and have a bathroom and be able to get in and out of the property, and also to have most realistically a homemade attendant be able to live with her. So that is that point right there.
Could I just ask or comment? It appears that the one-story addition is, I don't know, similar in size to the existing house. Is that directionally accurate?
Well, I guess it is, yes, except that it's a two-story house, so it's a split level ranch.
Okay.
So the existing one-story frame house is 2 stories. So right there you have what is the playroom area. The driveway goes in, that's just a garage. Do we have the plans of, and here, I can show you the actual plans. It might be able to scroll down. Here we go. Okay. So the main bedroom is up here. There's a bathroom, a bedroom, and that is currently the third bedroom right now. And that's upstairs of that box. The downstairs of that box is the garage on the left under the main bedroom and bedroom number 2. And then what we use as the playroom. There is no other basement or anything else. And then our kitchen, living room, dining room area is that smaller portion of the box. So while it might look like it's doubling, it's not quite doubling. Our existing square footage, I believe, is around 13 or 1400 square feet. And we're proposing an extension that is, I believe, 850 square feet or something of that nature. If that answers your question.
Okay, so and could you show us what rooms will be within the new proposed addition?
Yes, so we have here the entry hall. You see that?
Yes.
The arrow is, so my mother-in-law, or we would walk in here. To the left would be the common area for everyone. For the right would be an area for her to be able to put her clothes or wheelchair or something like that. Then the opening is large enough to fit a wheelchair through. This would be the sitting room, which is basically, her living room, or where really a home aid attendant would be to give her some privacy when she needs that. Her bedroom, a bathroom, and then there would be a covered sitting porch area so that there's not this awkward piece sticking out, so that the roof line would look nice aesthetically. It was my understanding. If you did it otherwise, it'd look ugly.
And so she could see her grandchild play.
Yeah, we have a 10-year-old in 5th grade.
Okay, and which is the paver patio?
It's this little to the left. Yeah, showing the patio. Oh, it's not there. Keep going up to the left. So see that there, where it says proposed stone patio set? That's not what it looks like right now. It's basically, there were a bunch of pavers when we bought the house that actually went into the other owner's property. And so I removed all of them. And basically we don't have the drawings that show the house as is. Can we scroll up or down real quick? Sorry, I just found out the architect wasn't going to be here when I came home from work. So in any case, I don't want to waste your time unless it's important to you to know. But basically the paver is a set of 2 by 2 feet squares, and
no, that's okay.
Yeah, it's like that. It's just basically they're just put down on the grass.
Okay, sure.
So
Can we just?
But yes, they're not elevated. It's the same level as the dirt.
Okay, could we just go up to? It appears you're going to put in some screening. Is that correct?
What do you mean by
are those trees existing, or you're?
No, so we have to remove some trees, unfortunately.
There's 3 of them right there. You can see them in the proposed 1-story frame.
Yes. Yeah, we can see them. Yes.
I love trees, and it makes me sad to cut them down. So we proposed to put more trees to maintain the amount of trees and the nature and character of the area and the neighborhood, and also just to afford. I think everyone likes landscaping probably, and just to afford a little bit of privacy between the 2 houses.
So there's a house on the other side of these trees?
Yes, and
how close to the property line would you expect they might be?
I'm looking at it right now. It's I would say maybe 25 feet.
Okay.
We've spoken with all of our neighbors, including the ones who we just told you about. So we have, we spoke with 8 neighbors and they're all in agreement with the plan. They understand the nature of the project and support the project.
They were kind of excited by it. They liked it a lot. They thought it looked good, which was nice. But specifically next door had 0 problem with it.
Okay, you understand that in putting these 7 trees on plan, you'll be responsible for maintaining them and replacing them in the event something.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
We've dealt with, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Any other members of the board have any questions for the applicant?
I have a quick question. The house, you have a septic tank. How many bedrooms is the house zoned for currently? And then do you have to do an addition to the septic?
3 bedrooms. So we're going to keep it a 3-bedroom house. So currently, the split level up the stairs has 3 bedrooms. And we're going to be removing one of those bedrooms in order for my mom to have what will be the 3rd bedroom. So the one where it says office, that's currently a bedroom. So we will be making that an office in order for bedroom number 3 to be my mom's bedroom. So it will remain a 3-bedroom home.
So you're taking out the closet in that bedroom?
Correct. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And I'll be actually having a nice office instead of having a dinky little chair next to and desk next to a bed when I get back during COVID. It'd be nice to have.
Carrie, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter?
I do not see anyone with their hand raised.
Okay. If there are no other questions, I move that we close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that the application of PEREZ-HALL and SELSKY.
Selsky.
Did I get that wrong? SELSKY, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I've as long as I've been doing this, I'm still bad with names, and I apologize. For an application to construct a one-story addition with a porch and a paver patio, requiring the addition with a porch requires a 23-foot rear yard variance, and the paver patio requires, we're looking for 30'6", but we'll make it 31 in case it's a couple inches off, the 31-foot variance, and that should be approved for the following reasons. The granting of the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. There is no other way to achieve the benefit sought other than to grant this variance. While the variances are substantial in size and look, in this particular instance, the substantiality of the variances are inconsequential. There'll be no adverse effect to the physical environment in the neighborhood by granting the variance. This is a self-created hardship, but due to the configuration of the property and the location and position of the existing original house, it could not be helped other than to grant this variance, even though it's self-created. We've had 7 letters in favor of this granting of the variance from the various neighbors in the area, and we've had none opposed to it. And if you could provide us with a foundation survey prior to framing and start within 6 months and finish within 1 year, we should grant.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
In favor?
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Thank you. You have your variance. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Next, we have PERLMAN, 16 Glen Terrace.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Mr. Chairman, board members, Mr. DePaul. Thank you for allowing us to be in front of you. In here we have Teo Sigüenza, by the way. I am the architect for Mr. and Mrs. PERLMAN. young family. We're proposing an expansion to their home. One of them is the one in question in the front, where we are requesting a small variance. I will share my screen. Here we have an area map of the property, so you can see how the house in question relates to the neighborhood. You know, we have in Glen Terrace here, and the house highlighted by the yellow. In this image, you can see the general neighborhood, you know, the distance between the various homes. This is the PERLMAN's residence, number 16. We have a picture here in the front that is relevant to our request, that as part of renovation to the home, as you can see here, the access to the home is unsheltered. And the proposal that we're having here is to create a small porch in the front, which is the minimum required dimension, if you will, to create you know, shelter to the entry and to give them a nice quality of life in the neighborhood as a social element of the porch that has been in North America for centuries. Here we have a site plan where you can see here the property line, the setback line here, which is the green, and I will zoom in. We can almost make the porch that we are looking to create. We are slightly short in dimension, although the porch is the minimum that we consider 6 feet 5 inches to allow them to have a few columns structurally and to be able to create access to their home. Actually, the entry has been relocated from here to the side. We believe that the porch that you can see here, the red line represents the approximate setback line, and we can almost make it. I think the porch will be also a beautiful element that will be also enjoyed by the neighborhood. I wish all the homes in the neighborhood would have this element where people could sit out and gather and talk to the neighbors. Here's the floor plan. Here we have the elevation, which is a modest porch that will complement the character of the home, and again, and give them shelter and enjoyment of that part of the property. That is the front view of the porch in here. As you can see here, we have a simple metal roof. The architecture of the house is rather gentle, and it complies in all other aspects of the dimensional and bulk of the neighborhood on this R1 district. Here is the side view of the residence. You know, some work taking place on the back, but the work in question, and we are here tonight to request that you allow us and my clients, their family, to have this porch in their home. I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Carrie, is there anyone in the audience to speak to this matter?
There are no hands raised.
Okay. Any questions or comments by the board?
I think it's a pretty straightforward request, and I don't have any problem with it.
Okay. I move we close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Mullen.
Aye.
I'll make a motion. I move that the Perlman application for a front yard variance of 6 feet for the construction of a covered porch be approved for the following reasons. There will be no undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. The benefit cannot be sought through other means. The variance is not substantial. There will be no adverse impact on the physical environment. Instead, will allow the applicant to enjoy their home. The alleged difficulty is self-created, but understandable. There are no members of the neighbor, there are no neighbors who have come forward to speak in opposition. You'll have 6 months to start, 1 year to complete. We'll need a foundation survey prior to framing.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Thank you. Have your variance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. Have a nice evening.
Good luck. You too.
Thank you.
Whippoorwill Club next.
Here, Mr. Chairman, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Jim Ryan, principal with JMC. We're the engineers and planners for Whippoorwill Club. I'll take you through a very brief presentation on what we're trying to do here. The screen will be shared by one of my associates, Ross Albano Richardson. Richard Cordone is the project manager, so he's also listening in case there's any questions. Essentially, Mr. Chairman, this is seeking an amendment to our special use permit for the property. The amendment would essentially allow for the construction of a pergola over an existing outdoor bluestone terrace. We'll zoom into that too. Ross will show you the outline of the terrace, but the terrace comes around the outdoor portion of that too, but it extends beyond that. So this is within an area now that we currently have, essentially there's an existing a seasonal tent that we have there, Ross, if you can just show that picture on it too. So it's replacing the function of that tent. It's actually going to be smaller than the tent, certainly less visible, although the visibility is really limited from neighbors. If there is any visibility at all, you can kind of see a glimpse if you look really close of the tent, and this is only from the entrance. The closest neighbor is about 400 linear feet away, but that is across Whippoorwill Road in an area where it drops down significantly, and it's quite dense, the vegetation. It drops down some 20 feet as well. So this will be essentially not visible. The tent is really not visible from the roadway, except as you come in the entrance, which my colleague just showed you. It's a 45 by 43 freestanding pergola system. Essentially what it is, it's a solar operated system with louvers. So it detects the sun and where the sun position is to provide the shade that you want. And then during rain events, it would protect the people the same way that the tent does, but I think in a less conspicuous way. And it would be a part of a permanent structure addition here. This is really, because of COVID and some, and this is not the only location that we're looking at these types of systems for. There's more interest in outdoor dining. So the outdoor terrace right now and the tent area are used quite frequently by members. This doesn't add in any way to the intensity and the use of the Whippoorwill Club. It is really for the enjoyment of the existing membership there too. The outdoor seating exists at 40 to 50 seats maximum. This is not changing any of that too. So essentially what this application is doing is it's replacing this seasonal tent and with a more permanent structure to it. I think a much more attractive look overall for Whippoorwill. So again, grade wise, you're really not going to see it, but once it's up, you do see the peak of this tent and the glow of this tent, just primarily from the entrance. So we're here to answer any questions that the board may have on this too, but it's I think it's a pretty straightforward. Ross, if you can just show the isometric just one more time. So essentially, and it's not actually attached to the building. There's a foundation system for these piers that'll be cut into the existing terrace that's there. Happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Will there be electricity for lighting?
Yeah, so there is electricity for lighting. It's actually a better system. It's actually built into, and it's a downcast LED system of lighting. The current tent situation, they hang these lights, so it's actually built into the system, and it's solar operated as well. So you can see how they light this now.
What are the hours of operation currently for that area? And will they remain the same or change?
Yeah, no, nothing's changing in terms of the hours of operation. Everything pretty much shuts down there, between 9 and 10 at the latest. There are occasional functions that go a little bit later than that, but in general, this is for everyday use for the members. So I'd say probably no activities here probably beyond 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with all the details of the special use permit, and I don't remember if there were any restrictions on operating hours for that area or not. Not that I want to do it, I just want to keep on the current of what's going on there.
Yeah, and in whatever conditions that we have of the existing special permit, nothing's going to change there. We're not asking for any changes in that.
So all those will remain in force?
They would remain, yes.
The pergola will not have walls. It'll be
It
open.
will not have walls. It's open on all sides.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
So basically unusable in the rain, if it's raining hard?
Yeah, if it's raining, the louvers would close and people would be allowed to continue dining there. During, intense heat, the louvers would pivot and move depending on where the sun is too. So you still get a kind of a fresh air feel to it too. It allows for some limited light in, but the strong rays, it adjusts for that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty complicated system and costly, but I think that this, as opposed to putting up the tent every year, is I think a much better option long term for the club.
Mm-hmm.
Is that area of the club used during the winter months?
No, well, the club does shut down, generally, I'd say early to mid-December, and doesn't reopen until probably February. So there's no activities there too. Things really start to kick up in the early spring in terms of activities, because basically the club shut down. This is not going to change that at all.
Amanda, is it a case of going through the special use permit standards that should become part of the approval?
Yes, so you should go through the special use permit standards as well as the specific standards for club uses.
Okay.
This is a type 2 action, so no environmental review is required.
Okay. Carrie, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter?
There are no hands raised.
Okay, thank you. I move that we close public hearing.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Unless someone else wants to volunteer, I guess I'll go through the standards.
Well, yeah. Are we going to make our own motion on this tonight? Or I think that what we should do is have our legal counsel review the special use permit as it exists and where it pertains to that area and the tent that's there, and make the correct determination and wording to allow for the tent removal and this new structure to be installed. I'm for it. Let's put it that way. And I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I think that we should not do an offhanded, off the cuff motion until we're sure that we're covered on all the special use permit requirements, and then vote on it again next meeting.
I agree.
Anybody
Mr.
feel
Cardino,
other than that?
if I might, we're still hoping to actually build this season, take advantage and take the tent down. Is there any in between there too, where we can acquiesce to any of the standards that were already in place for this too, and agree to those? Again, we're hoping to not wait another month, but to actually start construction almost immediately.
I'm open to whatever our legal counsel advises us on.
Fair enough.
Correct. I'm for this. I'm not against it,
Yeah.
but I want to do it right. I don't want to have anything.
No, and I appreciate that. I do.
But if our legal counsel can find a way for us to go forward with this and still meet the requirements of the special use permit, then I'm saying let's do it.
If you're comfortable with going through the standards, since it's type of amendment, as long as you go through each of the elements, I can, and then as well as the elements for the club, I think having it on the record is sufficient if you want to proceed. If not, I'm more than happy to go through them and have it ready for next meeting.
Well, okay. Again, let's not hold them up till next meeting unless it's absolutely necessary. If we can get this nailed down tonight and in an acceptable format, let's do it. And if the chairman is willing to dive into it and try to put it all down in wording, I'm more than happy to let him do it.
Okay, let's give it a shot. So, in consideration of section 60-430B 1 through 5, the proposed use will continue to serve the community, a community need or convenience. The location and size of the use and nature of the intensity will not change from that which exists today. The height of the structure, walls, fences will not significantly change from the current circumstance. The operations will not be more objectionable to nearby properties because of noise or fumes or vibrations. Parking areas will not be impacted by this, and there will be no increase in parking as a result of the installation. Moving on to 60-430-04. I think this operation does have access to the roadway systems. I think the existing are specified in the existing special use permit and will not change. This does not impact recreational facilities that exist at and the club will be in compliance with all standards as exist in the special use permit in effect at this time and continuing into the future. It's for these reasons that I think this board should approve the application.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I would also include a condition that all prior conditions remain in effect, including but not limited to the time of use, lighting, noise, and all other conditions to remain to be complied with.
Yes, Jackie, please make that additional notation, please, as far as prior conditions being observed.
I think we just need a second.
Just a second.
If I'll second the motion if that's the complete one. Sounds good.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Thank you again for your consideration. We really appreciate that. And the
You're
club
welcome.
will. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Just
We'll
give
look,
us our screen back.
we'll look for the invitations.
Will do. Very good. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Last but not
Okay.
least, we have Dubs.
Yes. Needless to say, I'm going to recuse myself. We purchased this house in '87, and shortly thereafter, around '89 or '90, we constructed the deck along with the shed. So both structures have been there upwards of 30 years or more. And as you can see from the survey, the house is legal non-conforming. So the property line of the whole house is not in compliance and is also 9.5 feet shy of the current setback of 35 feet. We're not planning to sell, but my wife has been on my back to legalize this, and it's time that we do so. Unfortunately, I can't share my screen because I don't know how. But
Are the plans in the packet?
yes.
Okay, I can find them.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
When-
they're on the website.
When did you last paint your shed?
You know, I have the paint. It's a stain, and I have it. I'm waiting for the right day. It's going to be painted. It's going to be. It matches the house exactly. And from the pictures, you see that you really can't even see the shed from the road because there's a like a fence along the side of the shed. And the reason we put up a shed was at the time we had, when we first moved in, we had 2 children, and then we had a third thereafter, and we needed a place for their toys, you know, a lot of bikes. So, and now it's still for bikes, but bigger bikes.
Did you ever send any of your kids out to the shed when they misbehaved?
I've wanted to. But, oh, thank you. Oh, great. Thank you. Okay. So you see the shed needs a painting. That's correct. The back of the shed faces my neighbor's driveway. Their house is set back quite a ways. And there's the, thank you for sharing this. I appreciate it. And so there's the survey, and the shed is there, and it's been there. And the deck also has been there for 30 years now. Yeah, hasn't budged. It's up like a fortress.
Harry, is there anyone in the audience to speak to this matter?
Hang on one second.
For what it's worth, I have not heard, I know one neighbor is in favor of it, and I haven't heard from any other neighbors that were notified.
Okay.
There are no hands raised.
Okay. Any other comments, questions by the board?
No.
I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard,
Aye.
knew I was gonna do that. Michael.
Yeah.
Aye.
Would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to,
All right, Tony.
I'll make a motion to the application, to approve the application of Howard and Beverly Dubs to legalize an existing deck, an existing shed. The deck is required. The deck is requiring a 9.5 foot rear yard variance. Yeah. Rear yard variance, and the shed is requiring a 22. Well, we'll call it 23 foot side yard variance for the following reasons. The granting of the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, especially due to the fact that the shed and the deck have been there for 30 years with no complaint and no problem from anyone in the neighborhood. There is no other method other than granting the variance to achieve the desired result. There'll be no adverse effect on the physical environment or conditions in the neighborhood. Again, because these two items have been there for 30 years without any detrimental effect, and there's none anticipated to be in the future. While this is a self-created hardship, it is de minimis and should not be taken into consideration. And Tom, what about surveys? Is the existing survey sufficient, or do you need some new measurements? How do you want to work that?
It's already been surveyed and submitted, so we don't need any.
So you're all
further
set.
information.
So we don't need any surveys. And you don't have any start or stop times because it's already there. So for those reasons, we should grant.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
Aye.
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye, as long as Howard agrees to paint it within the next 30
I'm
days.
going to. It's going to be done before the end of June.
Maybe the board should have a meeting there. We'll have a paint party.
Why don't we have a paint
everything.
party? I'll supply the pizza.
Okay. But no, you can't just supply the paint. You have to supply the beer too.
I'll supply the beer too.
Okay, you have your variance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jackie and Tom, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, board.
Okay,
Well-
you're welcome.
I move that the board adopt the meeting minutes for the April 27th meeting.
I'll second that.
Chairman Kenneth Cooper,
In favor?
Anthony Giardina,
Aye.
Harvey Bonaparte,
Aye.
Howard Dubs,
Aye.
Michael Nolan.
Aye.
Okay.
Just so the board is aware, the town board introduced, actually set a public hearing to introduce a local law to allow municipal boards to attend virtually. They're going to need to adopt that local law, and there would be a town policy outlining circumstances when members could attend virtually. There will need to be a quorum in person. And the alternative to that is noticing where your location would be if there's not going to be a quorum in person. It's for all members that are remote.
Oh, okay. What does that have to do with the state law? Or is that going to supersede the state law? Or
So so sorry.
Go ahead.
So in order for the municipalities to enact that, they need to adopt a local law. So it's following what the state has adopted in their budget.
I see.
Right, and it would provide guidelines on instances where you would be able to chime in remotely. And vacation is not, sadly, a valid circumstance.
So are you saying that you need a valid reason in order to be remote?
Correct. So the emergency has been extended till June at this time. I just wanted to let you know that the town has set forth a public hearing date to consider a law, and they need to adopt a policy. I've not seen the policy yet. I don't know if there is a draft policy yet, but once we have that, I'll go over it.
Okay.
And also, I emailed Sabrina during the meeting. The June 7th meeting starts at 7.
Okay,
The
thank you.
joint.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Okay, we're off. Good night.
Good night.
Nice
Thank
seeing
you.
you.
Night.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yes.
Same here. Happy
Be
Memorial
safe.
Day.
Good night.
Carrie,
Yes.
can I ask you a question? I can't.
Hang on, wait, just hang on one second. I want to make sure I end the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Oops.